What's up, everybody? Today we're working on the lifted Civic again. Went ahead and put it on jack stands and got it up here in the air, and we're gonna be replacing these trailing arm bushings right here. Got some new ones, and we're gonna try and avoid taking the whole trailing arm off. There's a special tool to be able to do that, but I don't have it. So we're gonna just try and use like a sawzall and a hammer and see what happens. But it's just this one bolt here. You got two bolts for the e-brake cable you gotta take loose, and then the 2 bolts for the trailing arm bushings. And then the whole trailing arm will pivot down and give you access to work on that. Went ahead and got stuff soaking with some PB blaster, so hopefully nothing will be too seized in there. And you can see I tried to do a repair on the trailing arm bushings in there and just put some polyurethane stuff in there, but it didn't work at all. So I'll start getting all this taken apart, and then we'll see if we can't get those cut out of there. This bolt right here, the bolt seized in the bushing right there, so it won't come out. That bolt right there doesn't have enough room to come out, so we're just gonna see if we can't get this dropped down to give us enough room to get that out, and then that'll give us some room to get a saw or something in there and cut that apart, and then we're gonna have to replace these arms right here. This is kind of scary because all that tension on that bolt, you don't think if that suspension comes flying down, it's not going to come unsettled on the lift, you think? Completely gone. Barely holding on there, but I actually forgot to take off this bolt here, and I need to loosen up the brake line right here, so I'll do that real quick, and then we should be able to move this enough to get that one bolt out. So you can see we ended up just cutting that in half. Now we're just trying to get what's left out of there. Cut that out. So we got this off there. We finally got that off. It is really mangled, so I'm gonna have to do some work to get that straightened back out, looking like that again. But got that out, and then, sorry I forgot to film it, but cut a little slit in the old bushing, and then it came right out of there just with a regular old claw hammer. So the new bushing actually slid in pretty easy. I just knocked it in with a hammer and just make it flush on the outside, and that's really all it is. Actually went in pretty simple. But until I get this new arm right here, I can't put this side back together. So I go ahead and start working on this side, and then this probably won't get done in this video. It's just how it goes sometimes. Run into problems and don't have parts. So we'll go and get this side done, and hopefully this side will go a little bit better and we can get this put back together today. Alright guys, good news. That one came out with absolutely no problem. That's how it's supposed to look, and this is what the other side ended up looking like. So we're off to a good start, and then just need to take off our, just like the other side, our brake lines and the upper control arm there. Alright, got that bolt out of there, and got that undone. Got slack in my brake line, so all that's left now is the actual trailing arm bolts. Alright, got a slit cut in it, and now we just beat it with a hammer to come out of there. Oh, there it is. So you don't even have to cut it all the way through, just to relieve some pressure on it. Alright, got it prepped, went ahead and sanded down the inside of where that slides in, and then sprayed just a little PV plaster, maybe help slide it in a little bit. So I'm just gonna take a hammer and smash it in there where it goes. I know it's not the best way to do it, and there's a lot better options, but we're here now, so I'm just gonna finish it out. It worked fine on the other side, so we'll see. So y'all get the idea. You can see it's sliding in there nice and even. Just make sure you keep it going in straight. Don't just beat it on one side. You'll get it in there all jammed up. So we're just gonna keep knocking that in until it's flush with the other side. It's got, you know, maybe half an inch. And then we'll start putting this side all back together. So got this back together. Got everything bolted in. Didn't bolt that one in because I'm gonna have to get another bolt. So I've got it right here. Take it to the parts store and get a replacement. Got all that up there back together and stuff like that. New bushings in. But wasn't able to film it all going back together because it actually took 3 of us to force all this stuff back up into place so I can get the bolts in because of the lift up there. It's got a 3-inch block in it, so it makes everything pretty difficult. I need to look into getting some like drop blocks that'll move this down, move all this stuff down a little bit, make the suspension geometry a little bit better. But it'll do for now. You can see the sketchiness we had on this jack right here. Just trying to compress the spring up so we can get the bolts close and get them started, but we finally got them. And like I said earlier, I'm not going to be able to finish this side because of that arm right there. Bushings are, bushings out of it, so I have to buy that whole arm before you can put this side back together. So we're pretty much stuck for today as far as we can get on this. I'll order that piece as soon as possible, but they actually have a tool to do this that's designed to do it without taking the whole trailing arm off, but it's like $150. But I guess that's where we're gonna leave it off today. I probably won't film putting that other side back together unless y'all want me to. Then I'll film that. But at the end of the month is our next gambler, so this thing will have to be 100% by next weekend if we're gonna make it to that. So we're gonna leave this one off right here. We'll see you next week for another one. Probably finishing up that custom little 50 that we were making last week. And then week after that, it'll probably be the gambler, hopefully. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe.